Hello and Allahu Akbar, the Baha'i greeting to each and everyone in the planet Earth. Time is 9:13. Today is the 9th of the May. And I'm continuing the project of explaining and transliterating this Mathnavi, this eternal work of Baha'u'llah. The last time we were talking about this conversation that Baha'u'llah depicted between two mystics and a questioner, that one mixed up the eternity with the element of times, and the other one told him that once it comes to God, time is out of questions. And there's no such a thing as the day that God created everything. There's no time to that. And there is no, therefore, a day. And Baha'u'llah says, if you want to consider a day, that day is every day. Because if somebody says that, put a time on the act of God, then it requires for God to have started this, something that He hasn't started before. And doing so, it does not give Him the eternity that we are defining it in the Baha'i faith. All the elements of times are outside. Then Baha'u'llah continues in this 5 lines. He says, پس تو ای جان این معما گوش دار. پس then to you, O John, dear, in this معما, puzzle, گوش دار, listen. Then you, O beloved, O dear, listen to this puzzle, the puzzle that he said. That God is not in time. We have to take that out. And if you do that out, then you know that really there's no late or early. You can all the time be there anytime you want, which is with decisions. Second line. پند اسرار الهی هوش دار. Pand, counsel, advice. Asrar, mystery, Ilahi, divine. Hushdar, be aware of, consider. So, be aware of this counsel of the divine mystery. Take heed. That's what it is. Take heed. Hushdar means take heed, means put it as a part of your intellectual being. Take it in. What happens if you do? تا که رزق جان بری از حکمتش. تا till که that رزق means provision, partaking. Jan, spiritual, bari, you take. As from hikmat means philosophy, wisdom. So if you listen to this mystery, he says, you shall partake the spiritual provision, the spiritual need, the spiritual manna. You'll take from his hikmat means philosophy. And it defines really what goes with this wisdom of God, if you understand it, if you partake from it. تا که جان سازی فدای طلعتش. Till that you فدا سازی, the sacrifice, your soul for his countenance. So if you know this, you sacrifice your soul for that face of God. See? till you, till that, John, soul, fada sazi, sacrifice, talat, talat means face, countenance, ash is a pronoun. So if you know the wisdom of God, if you have a little partake from it, Baha'u'llah says, you sacrifice your soul for him. He's that much there. He's that much pleasant. So much it is, of you in him, that when you know of that truth, you want to stand up and how far we have seen the people in the earth, the non-Baha'is, when they understand and take pleasure a bit of the truth, such as Mandela or Mother Teresa, or in Canada, Mr. Terry Fox, a little bit of a truth they understand, and they takes, such a powerful thing is that truth. It takes you in when you know it. We're not really human, we're not enjoying that. So another consequence of listening to this puzzle that he explained before, and the counsel of God, another result is that تا که هر دم بشنوی الهان او. تا till that every damn moment بشنوی, listen. Alhan is a plural of lahn. Alhan means the melodies, his melodies. Till every moment you hear his melody is everywhere. Baha'u'llah says, in every moment you hear the melody of God everywhere. But you have to understand though, the puzzle. The puzzle is that is not the question of time. Do not be baffled by the people that are years and years into a scholarship in divinity and a study, and you say that, hey, I've been always in real estate, or I've been in this and that. How am I going to understand that? How am I going to? Baha'u'llah says you have to understand. Time is not an element. Decision and willpower is. When you decide you want to go for Baha'u'llah, you go on. Sometimes, our body is so contaminated with the material life that even though when we know the truth and somehow enjoy it, we're unable to do it. Abdu'l-Baha has a solution for that. He said, that's the truth, you know that it should be done, but you don't feel it. Abdu'l-Baha says, fake it. You have to apologize from this man for what you have done wrong. You have to go take this book of God and teach it to others. You don't feel it, fake it, he says. Go against what inside tells you that, you shouldn't do it, you can't do it. Go against it, just fake it, do it. Doing the truth, obeying the truth, spreading the truth, promulgations of the truth, expressing the truth. It might be distasteful only because you haven't been so long into it that your body, everything is discouraged. Say to all of that, no, I'm going to do it. It sounds like faking, but actually it's not. Like imagine a person, myself, when I was a kid, it's strange, because of that I developed this sickness. I only drank Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola or this kind of drink. I wouldn't drink water. I can barely remember any time I drank water for water. Always I drank this kind of drink. As a result, I developed this, not ulcer, but I think I have some acid reflux that I have to take, medicine for it. I couldn't drink water. They gave me the water, no, there's no taste into it. It has to have that carbonated taste and a little sweet into it for me to be just good. Otherwise, I wouldn't. It's a kid. So, example, I should have, when I know this is wrong, I should just push myself and just go and drink the water. There's a pleasure, equal and opposite pleasure in not smoking. You have to discover it. When you smoke and you take a pleasure because you're addicted to it, all you have to know, there's an exactly equal and opposite taste to that. That is, non-smoking is just as tasty. If you discover the taste, you'll stop it. How you would do it, you have to keep not smoking. Keep drinking water if you're drinking, Pepsi and Coke every day. Gradually, the other side will win because the willpower has been pushed down. So if you do that, you take time out of eternity, out of matter pertains to the eternal activity, to eternal being. It's all the decisions that you have to make. And then Baha'u'llah says, you become a philosopher. You will partake from his philosophy if you understand this. You become so detached that you will sacrifice your life for him. Sacrificing your life for your beloved, such as God, it shows you are totally emancipated from anything material. You're today here, you're using it, you have wife, you have kids, your family and everything else, but the time comes you have to go and die for Baha'u'llah, you just go out without questions and doing it. In that case, nothing is stopping you. You are emancipated. When you can listen, he says, to the music and the melody of God from everywhere. When it's his, when it's the truth, you right away you have a truth detector in you, you get it. On the second line it says, "Ta benushi jau mi az ihsanu." Tell benushi, drink, quaff, Shobi Effendi translates. Jaumi, a chalice, a cup, a glass, as from ihsan, goodness, generosity, benevolence. U means his. So, on the first line was, till that you hear his melody in every moment, until you quaff and drink from that cup and chalice of his generosity. We always complain that God is not giving us anything. God is not listening to us. Here it says, if you have that complaint, you will feel that ihsan. Ihsan means benevolence, the generosity of God. You'll see that. Otherwise you don't. A lot of people complain that, oh God, when am I going to win my tickets? When am I going to get money? And I see that many times. I'm not God, but I see that some people, if they have this kind of a so-called freedom, material freedom, it's like you just have killed them immediately. You just send them right to their death. Things that we want in the material life. If you look at the study of genes, chromosome, genes. There is no single genes. Most of the genes are attached to each other. For example, in a cow, the gene of taste of the milk is also attached to the gene of the size of the milk production in the cow. So there are cows that they have beautiful, delicious milk, but they do not have a lot of milk. Then there are cows that they have a lot of milk, but it's not tasty. So the genetic engineers, they mix the two genes to create a cow that has a lot of milk, also tasty. This is what we do. Like red grapes, in nature they're very small. They manipulated it, they created a bigger grape with the genes. Somewhere in India, Coimbatore, I think they did it. So the things that we want in the nature is like this. You say, God, I want money. God says, listen, if I give you money from the path that you have chosen in your life, then the money in your system is attached also to have an accident the moment you got that $1,000,000. And you're going to be handicapped. Now, should I give you money? You, of course, say, come on. God says, well, I'm God. I know this is going to happen. Should I still be generous now? Give you the money in a wheelchair? You say no. Well, then he says, in order to make people, to show my generosity to people, and I vouch for that, God has kept majority of the mankind poor. So they understand there is no pleasure in being intelligent, as we are, and live in the material realm. Intelligent doesn't go with the matter. An intelligent man wishes to fly, but he can't. His body doesn't allow him. He wants to be right away tonight in Europa, the moon of Jupiter. Can't. Body doesn't go. He has imaginations, his thinking, his aspirations. There's things that he wants. Body doesn't let him. So God has prevented us to be taking pleasure of the material life because it is the pleasure of the animal program in us. The doggy who doesn't know the owner exists, or his concept about the existence of the owner is very limited as much as he understands. He doesn't know why should you cry because you're in love. Dog doesn't understand. Barks beside you, whines beside you, but doesn't know anything else. So in that case, any pleasure that comes in this life, if it is now and then from materially, it's not the pleasure of the human being. It's pleasure of the doggy, the animal program in us. So it's cheating us, you know. How long should I stand to see my dog is flirting with the neighbor's dog? How pleasureful is that? How long should I do that? How long, and I can't be a slave to this will and wishes of this dog. I can't, isn't it? Not too long. I give him some right to do something, but then I have to pull out. Therefore, we don't understand that God is actually benevolent and He's generous. He is not giving you the things you want is a sign of His generosity. He says, I've filled this earth with thousands and thousands of gems and everything. So you could use it. But you don't want to be intelligent about it and you just want me to particularly give it to you. Then I have to also accept that I'm just, a reckless God and I do not know what's going to happen after this life to you. This is not living, guys. This is being in the womb of the mother. I said, stupid. I try to take pleasure. I swear to my children, to God, there's nothing to take pleasure in this damn economic and material life. Okay, there are some rare books I want. The book of the Bob manuscript. I collect also comics. Some comics I can think of that I want. Anything else I want to know? House? No. Car? No. Clothes? No. Nothing. Yes, I do need a lot of money, but not for materials. Materially, I'm okay. I don't need it. I don't need money. to do the teaching in this country. And as I said that, if God gives it to me, then He has given it and He has started that, it doesn't let me to do my own thing. I have to lure you into listening and coming to participate and help me out to do something. Then it is our own doing. Because if we don't do that, then we can't get a license, we can't get a certificate of achievement. Simply God is doing it, and He says, I can do that already. I came in the name of Baha'u'llah, 20,000 people died. I ended it with Shobi Effendi. I could have sent more guardians after him and others, so we would take over, engulf the planet in the name of Baha'u'llah and the Baha'i faith. But that would be our own achievement. You haven't achieved it, therefore you are not changed. You know well, especially Iranian, when children are born in a Baha'i family, many of them, they're no good. They're no different from anybody else because they inherited it. God-given, parent-given. But somebody who become Baha'i on his own, he has different appreciations. It's the same way. If God wants to make all the people Baha'i, all the people good, it would be the same thing. Nobody will appreciate that is. No. So, if you want to hear the music of God, He says, decide. This is the puzzle. Get out of time element. And you want to see the benevolence of God that you complain all the time, you got to understand. There's a decision you have to make, and then you'll see it. It goes further. Another result will happen out of listening to this counsel. It says, تا شوی واقف تو بر اسرار عشق. Till you become واقف, understood, realize, complete realizations. Okay. To you bar to asrar, mystery of love. So love has many mysteries, many mysteries. And I've talked about it a little bit before, but certainly I can't talk about it right now. But if you want to understand and realize the secret of loving, again, remember the puzzle. Time is not the element that can be amalgamated with divinity. In you is the decisions. You have to decide. Then you get it. And the last one, the result of listening, would be تا چشی راه ازل زنهار عشق. تا till چشی, taste. راه, the wine. Azal, the eternity. Till you taste the wine of eternity. Zanhar. The actual word is anhar. Ze means from. But it comes in front of anhar. Get rid of the aleph and it becomes one word. Zanhar. That means from. Anhar is the plural of nahr, means river. River of love. Till you taste the wine of eternity from the rivers of love. There are so many rivers of love, it says. Now, when he says those things, he starts a new topic, Baha'u'llah again. I brought the first line, but I'm going to bring this the next time. He says, Baha'u'llah sometimes. He says, رخ نگردانم ز سیف این خسان. رخ means face. نگردانم, I will not turn away my face. It says. ز from safe, from the sword. In of this Khasan, the people of nothing, destitutes. There's nobodies, really. Khasan is nobodies. He says, I will not turn away my face from the sword of these nobodies. If they want to intimidate me, he says. گر 200 بارم کشند این کافران. if 200 times, bar means time, 200 times koshand, they kill me, this infidels. Roch means face, nagardanan, I will not turn away. Zephyr, safe sword, in this chasan, nobody's. Gar means agar, a is fallen, gar means if. Do means two, sad 100, bar times. M is a pronoun to that. Koshan, they kill me, this kafaran. Kafaran means infidels. This is if 200 times they kill me, these infidels, I will not turn my face away from their sword. The power that Baha'u'llah exerts sometimes is so amazing. You have to read the tablet that Baha'u'llah sends to the emperor in the Turkish Empire. You wonder who is prisoner, who is the emperor. He tells him there that when I was young, my older brother married, as the custom of the Persian is, 7 days they had this marriage going celebrations, and one of these nights apparently they have this puppet show. The guy, the puppeteers, comes and he brings a king named King Salim and all his soldiers and this and that and that. They put a show those days. People were just totally astounded. He said, after the show I went and asked him, Sir Puppeteer, where is that king and that glory and everything? He says, everything's in this box, referring to the box. Baha'u'llah tells him that your entire show of majesty and glory is just like that puppet show. It all is going to the box of the grave, he says. All of it will vanish, but this prison will remain. Yours will vanish. He says, try to reach to understanding, because you are an idiot. You are stupid. You would have not done to us what you've done. See by what kind of a majesty he speaks to this absolutely I don't know what to tell you, this emperors, Muslim emperors of the past, especially the decade time, the king of Iran, the emperor of the Ottoman Empire. These were the most reckless people. They were all psychotic people. They were all engaged in the psychotic act, raping little children. They say thousands. They would do them and the children would die, basically, in their sexual act. As a gift, they would give it to them. And so many women in their harem. Imagine, this man is so reckless, but Baha'u'llah speaks to him just he's like nobody. That's what it says when I see this, when he says, I shall not turn away my face from the sword of these nobodies, even if they have to kill me 200 times. These infidels I will not turn away. All right, time is going to be 9:42. I shall stop this program at this time. We'll continue the other line hopefully next time, as soon as possible. So, well, I'm wearing black, there's no particular reasons. There is no difference in my mourning or in my celebration. It's all the same thing. Very good.